Hi, hello, and welcome back to another very exciting episode of the Nincompoops podcast. We're on episode 68, boys. 68. How are you guys doing today?
I would be feeling 69 right about now if it wasn't for 68.
We're one number away. One number away. Next week is number 69, the big 6-9.
Yeah.
It's the funny sex number, boys.
Someone may say it's our first real milestone.
Yes,
First one.
the first-
Was
would be-
50 was 50 not a real milestone? Was number 10 not a milestone?
It's
No.
my first real milestone. I am some people.
69. 69 is the real halfway point.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
No one cares for the clean numbers.
We're actually ending it. We had tomorrow is the next week's the last episode for season 1. So we'll start season 2. Cap it off at 69 again, and just keep rolling from there. You know.
Wait, how do these seasons work? Is it not like once a year thing?
No, it's every 69 episodes.
Yeah, every 69 episodes. It's a new season.
It's all very arbitrary. It doesn't matter. It's 60. So episode 70 is season 2, or is it?
Episode 1.
Season
69.
2 1, and then season 2 69 will be the last episode for that season, and we want a season 3. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll keep going for 69 seasons.
I'm very excited to see what upgrades we may or may not have. In
Yeah,
season 2.
yeah, you know.
I'm losing an eye.
Hopefully,
Oh
we'll,
no, that doesn't sound like an upgrade.
hopefully we'll make it to season 69, episode 69. That is the goal. So we need to not die by then.
Right.
So,
Love
of course,
it.
that's gonna take quite a few decades to get to, but we got a chance, you know.
We got a chance.
Speaking of dying, Jim, how are you feeling? You've been kind of dying the past couple days here.
Yeah, so remember last week when we were talking about like, hey, we don't do anything. We don't have anything to talk about every single week. Well, I did us the favor of getting COVID so that I can have something new to report about my week.
Yes, finally
Yeah,
something.
yes.
That's my week report.
I also got a couple things I want to bring up, but we'll go with Jim's things first.
Yeah, so there's that. It started the day after last week's episode. So Thursday, the day after last week's episode was when I first started showing symptoms. I could have had it at that point because my mom had already had she had already shown symptoms before I started showing them. So yeah, since I live with her, there's a good chance that I got it from her because otherwise I don't really go out much. Like we don't hang out much to warrant me getting COVID very easily, and all I do is just go to work outside of that. So that's
got it
that's the only way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started showing symptoms. I got we were playing Valheim that day as well. And I think 2 hours in, I started getting very tired. Like as in not like I'm sleepy tired or like I'm exhausted tired, but just like I don't have energy tired. And I just
I was building a house that day.
I went to go lay down in bed, and I just started getting a cold. I was just kind of stuck there. I couldn't really move. My throat started getting a little bit sore, but it wasn't as bad until the next day. And so I was just there in bed for a couple hours. I was watching this really shitty horror movie that I thought the movie was gonna be an hour. The premise was interesting enough, and I was like, it's just an hour and a half because that's how movies usually are. But I was watching it. I was just like, is it just because I'm feeling sick, or is this movie taking forever? And the movie was not an hour and a half. It was 2 hours and a half. So I was just like waiting for the movie to end. I'm just like, why is the movie still going? How long has it been? I've been here forever.
You could have just turned the movie off.
I didn't want to move, so I was just like,
You're stuck.
this is what I do now. This is all I'll do now. And then I sat through the movie. It was pretty bad. And yeah, the next day, that's when I had a real sore throat, and my throat was like super dry and shit. And I had to there are moments where I had to try to get my throat a little bit wet with saliva or anything, just so I can have any lubricated feeling there. Otherwise, it would kind of it would suck whenever I would breathe and shit. What else happened?
Is this still on Thursday or
This is Friday morning now, but
Friday
this is over.
morning?
This is Friday, and
All
yeah,
right.
and food wise, I started to be able to not taste the food I was eating as much. Like the flavor was still there, but it was obviously like very dull, and I had a loss of appetite, so I I never got the feeling that I needed to eat. Like my stomach would rumble now and then, saying like, "Hey, you need to eat," but then it wasn't like a consistent feeling of like, "Fuck, I need to eat" or anything. It was just like if my stomach rumbled, I'm like, "Oh, Ben, I guess that means I need to eat now." But when I ate, I didn't feel any better. I didn't feel any different from when I was before I ate. So I was like, oh, okay, and I was pretty sure it was COVID at that point, but I was like, maybe it's just a flu or something. Not that that's great either, um, but yeah, and. So, I went to work Saturday, and I worked 12 hours on Sunday because they made me early in, and they didn't really care that I had it because they sort of like, oh, you didn't really test for it, so you don't know if you have it. I'm just like,
Technically, if you didn't test and you didn't say you have COVID, that means you don't have COVID.
You just got the flu.
yeah, that's a little bit that's better, But
Trump was right. The reason why our COVID cases are so high is because we test so much. That's why. Duh.
mhm.
Duh.
um, and then yeah, so I sat through that. As the days passed, I started feeling better and better. I kind of forced myself to eat because even now it's been like almost a week and I don't really get a strong feeling of hunger. I just eat. Um. Oh, Sunday I threw up my food, which is pretty. I told Paul this, which is pretty
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I threw up my food and then like it was a pretty violent one too, and it was pretty violent to the point where at the end of it, it was like a little bit of I was like throwing up a little bit of blood too. It wasn't like
Oh,
much, but yeah, I was just
Yep.
like damn, and yeah, I don't know. It was like it cut my throat or something. I didn't feel very
Mm.
great. Um,
I heard his
but
story, but still, it makes me like recoil, like hearing that.
yeah, and that was not fun. But I haven't thrown up or anything since. I've been feeling a lot
Yeah.
better. Yeah, I think yesterday was the first day I was able to talk normally again because during the first few days, my cat's meowing all the damn time right now. As I'm trying to to stay focused. But what is it? Uh,
I didn't hear it until that one time. It's been fine.
yeah, he's just been meowing over and over, like repeatedly.
Mm.
What was I saying?
You said you finally are able to talk normally again.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like for the first few days, I was just like talking like super low energy, and I'm even on the car ride back. I think it was Sunday from work. Like I just speaking at like my normal volume and the way with the mannerisms that in which I speak. That took like that was tiring as well. Like I was just like that was I was just like all right, I can't talk like that. I just went back to talking like oh all like that, and Monday I didn't really did talk. I don't think I was on Discord on Monday. I don't know. But I wasn't able to talk normally until yesterday, but I've been feeling relatively normal outside of like a cough that's been kind of persistent. Other than that I feel fine. But, obviously I think I still have it to some degree. Or maybe it's like going away and I just have a cough because around this time of year I do get coughs anyway, even before COVID. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just that, but just for the sake of being safe, I'm gonna assume I still have it. My
Yeah,
brother,
it's likely still have it. Yeah.
yeah, my brother's the one who has it in our household anyway. My brother's the one that has it the worst right now. I know my sister had it, has it now or recently because
Mm,
when I got it, I heard my sister just got it too. And my
mm.
brother is going through the worst of it now. He's just been in bed for the last 2 days. He's missed school. Tuesday and Wednesday. He went to school Monday, even though he had it, and I think he tested Monday night, and that's when he knew that he got it, and which meant that
Had a positive test result.
yeah, which meant that I definitely have it, and my mom definitely had it. So any idea
Yeah.
that it wasn't COVID was just like okay, we know for sure now.
Yeah, it's like a 99% chance it's COVID for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and and because my mom because we live so close to my grandparents, my mom helps out my grandparents every now and then, and
Mm.
unfortunately, my grandfather got COVID as well, and right now he's in the hospital. I'm not a praying man because I'm an atheist and nothing's gonna change that.
Yeah.
But if I were to pray, I would. This is the time where I would be praying for him right now, because
Gotcha.
he's like 80. He's 80 something. I always forget how old he is. He's like very old, and
He's like very vulnerable to COVID.
yeah. I'm not naive. I know the math. But
Yeah.
still, I still hoping for the best, and hoping that he recovers.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hopefully. You also said he didn't get the vaccine either due to
Yeah, health complications. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not like out of choice or anything. It's just like, but even if it were, it was like it still sucks.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I know the numbers aren't good, but the stats sometimes the 1% happens, and I'm hoping my grandpa has a pretty good chance, and that's all I can do for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know about Jim having COVID until like the day before I had to drive him to work, so on a Friday, and he gave me the option of whether or not I wanted to drive him or not. And I was like, I'm short on money, I need it. But even if I did, I probably still would have said yes anyway, just because I've gotten both Moderna shots and a booster, so I felt relatively confident. But we still like did some precautions where like, all right, we'll have Jim sit in the back seat. I'm gonna roll down the windows a little bit, even on the freeway, and then
I also double masked.
Yeah, he decided to double mask as well.
I also held a gun to his head when asking him, so he didn't really have a choice.
I needed to drive. It's not just the money. I wanted to live. I didn't want to get my brains blown out. Not fun. Not on my 2020 to do list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did mention that I think that Saturday night when I came to pick you up, I did have a slight cough, but it was like very, very light, and I don't think it was COVID, even though it could have been. It's probably was like something I ate, but I'm not sure. But went home the next day, or went home, woke up the next day, and then I was like, I was fine. I'm just good to go. I'm like, all right. I guess if it was COVID, it was like super short for me. Like, legit like a couple hours. And if it is, like, awesome, cool, I'm good to go. But if it wasn't, like, all right, I'm cool. I'm hearing what Jim had to go through and seeing how he looked when he had COVID. I was like, it's not look like fun. So,
yeah.
For any listeners out there, if you guys haven't gotten your COVID vaccine yet, go fucking get it.
And also another thing I want to add to that is just that that I'm double vaxxed, but I haven't gotten the booster shot yet. I was actually supposed to get it yesterday, but unfortunately, me getting COVID, probably not the best idea to get the vaccine while I actually still have it. So I'm gonna have to delay mine and reschedule. I haven't scheduled it yet because I don't really know the time frame as to like when we get better. Obviously, I think I still have it. I don't know. Even if I don't have it anymore right now, my brother still has it, so it's only he can just pass it back on to me. Even if I still have some temporary, some level of temporary immunity against it. So and my second dose I think was in May of 2020, so it's been more than 6 months, which is like the window. And basically, from what I can understand of the science, is that each dose of the vaccine, excluding the first two of the Pfizer and Moderna ones, they will give you pretty much 4 to 6 months of relative protection against the thing you're getting vaccinated for. And after that, your body's defense against that kind of weakens over time if you don't get another dose, which is why the booster shot exists. And so when you take the booster shot every 6 months or whatever they're gonna tell you to take it, it's just to keep your body keeping that defense up. It's like if you were training an army, and some of those soldiers leave. When you take the booster shot, you're pretty much having the current soldiers train the new ones, so that the new ones will be up to speed with what they're about to fight, rather than just having all the soldiers disappear and you have to build a new army from scratch with the new
kind of
shot.
like reinforcements and all.
Think of it like that. And
Got you.
And even though I was double vaxxed, which is better than not being vaxxed at all, I still showed very obvious symptoms from that. So do encourage you, if you guys haven't already, to get your booster shots. And there's going to be a point where we're gonna ask you for a fourth shot because it's just what time's gonna pass, right? And
Yeah.
you're gonna the fourth one will give you more reinforcements for the next 6 months and so on and so on. If you're asking like, hey, when will these booster shots end? Well, at the rate we're at, probably never, because unless we're all vaxxed and we can successfully weaken COVID to the point where it doesn't spread as much, we're gonna have to keep taking these booster shots. So again, highly encourage you guys to get your first 2 shots if you haven't, and if you already got them, but you're not sure if you want to get a booster shot, then I also recommend doing that because that's definitely something I want to get as well, so that I never have to deal with what I'm going through again. And if I do, at least next time around the effects will be mitigated. Because if I did not have the first 2 shots, I'll be having more of a miserable time than I am right now.
Yeah. I'd say like if you got like your first 2 shots or like your single shot for J&J, but I think for those who got J&J, it's very highly recommended you get a booster shot. Whereas the Pfizer Moderna is just like more optional. If you're like and I'm going to use that trope, like if you're young and healthy, you probably don't need a booster shot, but I'd say it's very nice and handy to have just in case, because long term you're probably going to be fine even if you get COVID or when you get COVID. But it's just more like, would you rather be like 80% miserable, or would you rather be like only like 30% miserable? That's like the numbers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if you're young and healthy, I still think you should get it. It's not like we have a limited amount or anything in this country.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to get it.
Yeah.
I think. Obviously, some people can't take it, like my grandfather. But it's still, if you can, you should.
I mean, the hope is like one day the entire or like most of the world is vaccinated, but with Jim, you already know like with how things are going with the patent protections and all that. West is like, I don't know, we should do that. We should use like charity, like Bill Gates and all that, but
yeah,
that's not going real quick,
Yeah.
So that's why
don't get me wrong, okay? Like I encourage people to wear masks and stuff when when in public places with a lot of people and everything, but I fucking hate wearing these. Okay, if you wear glasses, you understand my pain, because masks are fucking bullshit when you fucking wear them with glasses, because they fog up and shit, and you have to fucking wipe your glasses down all fucking time. Fucking hate it.
Yeah, I had to wear a mask today while I was like driving my dad, which I haven't done in a while, just because like I haven't had to wear it just because like we're both vaccinated. So, but when I was like driving with the my sunglasses on and the mask on, I was like, ah, yes, I forgot how annoying this was. Because normally, like now, it's just like if I get out of my car, I'm usually going indoors, so I don't need to put my sunglasses on. So yeah, I forgot the struggle, but it's not too bad. As long as like, at least for me, what seems to work is like if I just like pinch the bridge of the mask with my nose, it seems to be like kind of relatively airtight.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Jim's week. Very fun week, I hear.
Yeah, a lot happened. Yeah, I don't know. Regardless of what happens with me or my family, the general things just be the same. Just be responsible. That's all I can really ask for.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I guess I'll go on with my week or my past couple days. So as you guys know, I did my job interview last week for the airlines as the baggage boy, the luggage crew. Got a email on Monday, said like, sorry friends, thanks for applying, but no.
You suck.
So, you suck. No. But ironically enough, around that same time, I also got another email for another place that I applied to like a long ass time ago, like probably like half a month to a month ago, that I totally forgot I applied to, and it's like, hi, we're doing on the spot interviews or on the spot hiring for this job. That's also luggage crew for aircraft, and we pay like $18.55, which is like $1 more than the other place I got rejected from. So went to that job interview today, and you know what? I think I got it.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, nice. I just need to do like a drug test tomorrow, and then within like 5 to 10 days, I'll get like my results. But I think they pretty much always send me the emails like, "Hey, welcome to the team" and all that. I'm like, all right, I think I'm pretty much good to go.
Nice.
My plan, yeah, my plan was like, all right. I think I got rejected last time just because I told them, which I probably shouldn't have. That I was like probably planning to leave within like 4 months if I get selected for OCS. So they're like, I don't know. That seems like a short time frame. But this time they didn't ask that question. I was totally prepared to just like lie through my teeth or just not bring it up, but they never asked. So
Nice.
I didn't have to do anything against my conscience. So I'm happy about that. So yeah. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully I'll be able to start making money again, because my bank account looking pretty low. It's like spoopy. Like, now I'm like, man, I kind of want to get some food outside. I'm like, doing a double. I'm like thinking it over. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't get
gotta
chicken
cook
or
your own
sushi today. Yeah. Yeah.
Sushi.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm like craving
Not to
ramen,
catch
if I'm
your own
craving
sushi.
like sushi.
Yeah.
I had to catch it to go into the sea, just got like a fishing pole. Maybe get some sushi that way. But speaking of like fishing and seafood, however, I got a really fucked up dream last night, or yeah, when I woke up around like, I think it woke me up around like 3 a.m. last night. I had a really fucked up dream. And I remember like, it kind of gave me like low key like PTSD or like an irrational fear of like lobsters. This dream. All right, so what happened is after I woke up, I was like in a kind of like a cold sweat. Went to the restroom, came back, tried to go back to sleep. I was like, thought to myself like I should write this down. So I wrote down what happened in that dream. All right, it's on my phone. And it was like kind of a long bit, but holy fucking shit, that shit was like nightmare fuel for me when it came to that lobster. Alright, so now this is gonna sound like really fucking weird. Okay? So Jim, I need you to be our dream interpreter again. Even though as our psych man, okay?
Okay.
See what this dream is about. So I'm gonna preface by saying like I got myself some like pretty long brown socks I got for like my my boots in preparation for like when I go to OCS for like hiking and all that. Add some like more cushioning, more protection. So for some reason in this dream, I had those long ass brown socks, but for some reason my mind interprets them as like snakes or something, or like some kind of like slithering thing that like moves around my house. And I was like, and for some reason in this dream I thought like, okay, I have to deal with this every day. Usually at night, I'll deal with it when I deal with it. It's like a daily occurrence. It's like this like long ass brown snake that looked like my socks. But we'll get back to that later. So jump cut. For some reason, I was at fucking like NASCAR or something.
What
Honestly, I don't know where this dream is going. Honestly, I would not remember this detail had I not written this down. But I just wrote down at like fucking 3:53 a.m. apparently. I was at NASCAR and I was like, I don't even remember this. Apparently, I won a giant lobster as a pet, as a winner of NASCAR, getting first place.
Nice.
And apparently, on the very last lap, before we finished, we had to do like a wheelie in cars. I don't even know if that's like even fucking possible. I had to like search it up when I was like, a wheelie. I'm like, you do that with motorcycles. I don't know if you could do that with cars. Maybe like Mario Kart or something.
It's like diagonal where like one side's lifted and the other one.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, you know, the back two wheels are like in the, or the two front wheels are in the air. And that's what I was like thinking for some reason. And for some reason, just now I have like a giant ass pet lobster in my room. So apparently I had this like giant ass like fish tank on my TV stand. And holy fucking shit, this lobster was like giant. It was like the size of my. It was probably about like, it was in length, this lobster was like 3 to 4 feet long.
Holy shit.
It was fucking huge, bro. And I don't know. It was like normally that would kind of freak me out or like kind of creep me out a little bit. So what I added? All right. So for some reason I thought to myself, remember those brown ass socks I remembered before that was like a snake? Apparently I caught that snake sock thing, and I thought like, yes, I'll add this to my lobster as upgrade or something. Adding some kind of like armor. I don't fucking know. All I remember is like I dropped a pair of socks into like the lobster tank, and apparently it turned my giant pet lobster into an even bigger giant lobster that can now walk on 2 legs. So now instead of it being like horizontal, it was like fucking like standing, like Larry the fucking lobster from SpongeBob. It was like Larry the Lobster, and it was like standing up. And I guess for some reason, all of a sudden, this like lobster tank was now like able to like it's tall enough to like submerge the entire lobster. So it's like standing, but it's like more vertical instead of like horizontal now. So apparently, what I was also doing to this giant lobster was having like the Giles theme song play on repeat. So this entire time, this lobster was listening to like I was like, it's just playing it like on repeat for hours. All of a sudden, this fucking lobster starts like workout jogging, and it was like lifting up its legs, and it was like popping its arms into the air, like. For some reason, I wrote down, like, Mr. Krabs. I don't know if Mr. Krabs does this, but this is what this lobster was fucking doing. So I guess he was just, like, working out to the Giles theme song, this giant-ass pet lobster of mine in my room. And I was, like, almost the same size as me. So I wrote down, at first, it looked cool. And low-key, it looked kind of cute. And then all of a sudden, it starts, like a pet. Looking at a pet cute. I'm like, that's funny. Look at the little monkey dance. But then all of a sudden, it's like starts slowly tapping at the glass. And then after a while, like there's like no effect. And all of a sudden, it's like smashing at its like claws together. I was like, all right, this is kind of weird. So I go downstairs and I get my mom for some reason because like I feel like, hey mom. The giant pet lobster is like acting kind of funny. Like, apparently it like doing like 80s workouts or yoga wasn't like weird enough for me. Like now it's like, now it's like doing lobster things, like hitting its claws. So we come back, and I guess the lobster managed to break its own claws to reveal some sort of key, which makes no fucking sense. But at the same time, it also broke the glass. So like, what the fuck was the key for? I guess in my mind, like, he has a yellow key to like get himself out of like the fish tank, but he also broke the glass. So now he fucking steps out of the glass, and then he starts walking towards us. And this is where the nightmare fuel came from, because now it's like it starts smiling at me like that crab monster from One Punch Man. Mm. That's what it looked like, but at the same time, it had like the lobster voice equivalent of like Jeff Bezos. And he's like started talking to me. And he was like, I don't know what he was talking about, but probably along the line like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I don't know. Oh, no. So I'm like, I throw my mom behind me. I'm like, Mom, run. I go to attack it, and then I wake up. I'm like, holy fuck.
You died.
I guess I died. Dream Paul got fucked up by like a giant ass man lobster. And I ain't gonna lie, when I woke up, I looked at to my TV screens and I imagined like, that long ass like 3 to 4 foot long lobster just sitting there. And I was like, I was thinking to myself like, holy fucking shit, lobsters are creepy as fuck. I don't know how that happened or where my mind went to, but I think for a good like 20 minutes when I was like trying to go back to sleep, I was like, I think my mind just tricked me to like have like irrational fear of lobsters all of a sudden. Like people have like arachnophobia, now I have like lobster phobia now. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. And I guess like now a couple hours later, like okay, it's not as creepy. But when I was like sitting in my bed, I was freaked the fuck out over like lobster. And I was like, nah, no, no, no. If I was like, I mean, I don't like eating crab. I like eating lobster already. But now, if you were to present that in front of me like a full ass lobster, I'm like, no, fuck that. He's gonna kill me. Those giant ass claws are gonna choke me to death. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna like talk to me with that Jeff Bezos voice for some reason. So no, but I've mostly recovered from that trauma. But I don't know if I'll ever fully get over, the giant ass One Punch Man lobster trying to kill me.
Try to
It
go
was
to
like,
the Asian market and see, look at lobsters, see how.
nah, 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 nah.
Some of the Asian market you can like grab the lobster. Try.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't care if even if it has like that blue tape like around their claws. No, fuck
You
that.
gotta get out. His picture.
Okay, here's a solution. Okay, you have to overcome your fear. You get a lobster from the supermarket. You buy a lobster tank. You feed it regular lobster food, but then you lace it with protein powder. Okay.
Yeah, you lace it with creatine, and then
you give it some dumbbells, and you watch it get stronger, and you overcome your fear. And when it gets large enough, when it stands on its two legs, you will challenge it to a fight, and then you will battle it out.
No, dude, he's gonna fuck me up. He has claws.
It's the only way to overcome your fear.
He has an exoskeleton. I'm just like flesh and bones. I'm like squishy on the outside.
You'll have to train yourself. The lobster can't be the only one training.
Why about I just don't let that happen? What if I just don't
then you will forever
shoot up a lobster with like steroids?
Fear. Okay, you and your girlfriend are gonna go to a nice restaurant someday, and then you're like, hey, where'd you take me? And she'd be like, Red Lobster, and then you'll be shrieking, ripping out your clothes, and shitting under the dinner table because the restaurant is provoking
over here.
Such a primal fear in you. Do you want that to happen, Paul?
No, I don't want to have a primal fear over lobster. They're just like giant. They're just like giant crabs and lobster. Are just giant ass spiders, man. They're like giant bugs of the sea.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people are like, "Yeah, I can eat that." Not as many people are like, "Oh yeah, some spiders, some bugs, I can eat that." Nah. The bigger versions, some people are like, "Yeah, it's tasty." The first person in history who decided to look at lobster.
It's because we don't live with crabs and lobsters. Like we live with spiders. Like when we see them in our house, we're like, "Oh, it's disturbing my peace." So fuck this. I'm not eating this shit. Like we view it not as a food source, but as a pest. But because you don't live with crab. We don't have fucking crab coming out of our toilet being like, "Hey, got your balls." Then we don't have the same feeling. We see it more as a food source. The size difference.
Oh, that's fucking scary. Can like sea creatures like go up like your toilet in like some third world countries or Australia?
No. Although I think it was like a thing. It was like a thing in the 2000s or some shit, or maybe in the 90s, where there was like some news headlines where like snakes would like come from the toilet and bite your balls, but I think those were all fake or something. Maybe not. I don't know.
Dude, that'd be fucking scary if they're like crabs or a lobster like crawling up your toilet seat.
The snake.
The snake one. Yeah, that was like a very common headline.
That one I can see being likely, like in the jungles of Africa or something, or like again Australia. It was like Australia has snakes, right?
Yeah, it's Australia. Okay. I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't got like lions or like zebras though.
They have dingoes.
What are dingoes?
Dingoes are like their version of wolves, but I think dingoes are pretty strong.
It's like DINGO or
DINGO.
Yeah, that's the song.
I didn't realize until when I was like saying it, I was like DINGO. I was like, that sounds like a song. Oh yeah, it's kind of like a mix between like a fox and a dog, but more like a dog, really.
Yeah. Apparently, like dingoes are pretty strong or something, or at least they're good hunters.
They look cute.
Yeah, they had. I think when I visited Australia, we saw one in a sanctuary. But they said they're very scary. They're cute, but they're scary.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Like they're very vicious compared to. I mean, obviously wolves aren't the friendliest animals, but like compared to wolves, they're a lot more vicious towards humans and stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like with most canines, like how it is like, oh, the reason why they're as friendly as they are to the extent that they are is because we give them a food source. Like,
Mm-hmm.
in the olden days, humans would hunt food, and it would feed like the one wolf that strays from its pack, and then the wolf stays close to the humans because they both rely on each other to get what they want. And eventually, those wolves evolved into dogs. So wolves have evolved to be more friendly than rabid when interacting with humans. And dingoes, I think, aren't like that because we didn't just pick up dingoes as as like, hey, you and I, we have a relationship going on. We both get what we want. But I don't think that ever happened in Australia.
I mean, there's like some animals that are you're able to domesticate compared to others. There's like dingoes, like one of those like you just like cannot domesticate no matter how much you try. Because I know there's like some like no matter what you try to do,
Yeah,
like
pretty sure,
you just
pretty sure it's one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like a barriers to a lot of animals, like deer, for example. They jump too high for you to even try domesticating them. Like they can be friendly towards you because deer aren't predators like tigers and anything are. But yeah, some animals you just can't domesticate. Like a lion, like even if it's a little cub, eventually it'll be like it'll just fucking eat you randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how many generations, there's always gonna be some level of wildness you can't really get past.
Yeah.
I think it's worked different with felines than canines because dogs came from wolves, but cats didn't come from like lions or tigers or leopards or anything. Cats were like their own kind of branch of the evolution tree, and they kind of
big cats.
yeah, they evolved.
I never heard about the origin of cats.
Yeah, like the origin of cats, from what I've heard, like they were just wild cats. Like they weren't like big wild cats. They're still relatively small.
Yeah, normally I think of like ancient Egypt or something when it comes.
Yeah,
to
and they have evolved to what they are now, but it's not the same process as how dogs evolved. It's a little different.
Ah.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's wild. I never thought about that. I was like, no, I never wondered where like cats came from. I just like it's just one of those things like these cats like always existed, or I just never thought about their origin.
Yeah, they're a while before. I think the reason why they turned out different is because I think the way the cats are naturally is different to the traits that a wolf usually has. So that's why they were like if they evolved a different way. And the relationship, because of that, like basic nature, kind of resulted in the cats becoming what they are now. Like cats typically they aren't very like, yeah, you're home, like all the time, like whereas with a dog they'll give you that unending love,
that attention, yeah.
With cats it's more like, all right, I can give you some love, and then they fuck off, and they come back when they feel like getting more love and all that stuff.
Come back and kill you, and then
they're the ultimate tsundere pet.
Yeah. That's, and then I think other animals, like pigs, for example, they were pigs, cows, they were domesticated in a different way, obviously, than wolves or cats, or dogs and cats, and it's why they're we kind of treat them differently.
Yeah, I assume they kind of more or less were like already like that, more or less,
Yeah,
from, the growth hormones we use in the U.S. Because if I were to make a guess, like maybe like pigs came from boars, or they were already like different offshoots or like cousins, or like,
and then we just kind of domesticated them throughout the years into what they are now. I don't know how far I would go back for.
I think they go back pretty far because I've never not imagined like pigs or cows. Like obviously they're more likely to. I want to say like originate from like the Middle East or like Europe, most likely Europe. I don't think they had those in like the Americas.
Americas, I believe we have buffalo. That was like, or bison or something like that.
Pretty much it. I know for sure horses were not native to like North America.
Yeah.
And when they were brought over, them natives were like, "Holy shit, these are amazing!
These bad boys."
Yeah.
Runs about.
Yeah. With the way humans have traveled throughout history, like we've just kind of moved around certain species. Like I know in Australia, we introduced. So I forgot what species it was, but we. Oh, sorry.
Mammals?
No, no. Okay, I'll just use the American one, so because it'll be easier to think of. So catfish, they aren't native to where they where they are now. They were brought over to where they are now, and
Oh, really?
catfish are known as an invasive species because they're not part of the natural food chain where they are, and so when catfish reproduce too much, we have to hunt and kill them because they're fucking up the food chain for all the other animals.
I always noticed when I was like a little kid, whenever I would go to like a Vietnamese supermarket, was like whenever we went to like the fish section, like that tank full of like catfish was like super full and like claustrophobic. Where even when I was a little kid, I felt like I feel sorry for them. Why is there like all stuffed in like to one? I'm not sure if that's like related to the fact that, as you said, like catfish are like an invasive species and we just have a metric butt ton of them. But I always remember like seeing a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I just refer them as wish cash. That's how I grew up.
I always imagine like, catfish just because like from the mere fact they had like those whiskers or something.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like, similar to like a cat. I thought more like, because it's like a singular strain or hair, whatever you call it, whisker. I was like kind of like view it as like a beard you'd like see on like the Chinese emperor or something. Like when I remember watching like Mulan, I thought about that old man, but instead like that giant ass beard, just like that thing off to the side. Yeah.
I've never had catfish, but here it has like a sweeter taste compared to like other fish. But I don't know. Catfish look ugly as shit, and they don't look appetizing.
They do look ugly as shit. I mean, to be fair, I personally always thought like a lot of fish look ugly as shit, with like very few exceptions. It's because I remember like going to like this like one park when I was a little kid that had like a giant ass. That was like the entire park was just like it was like a garden, which was pretty much just like a bunch of like ponds and like full of fish. And I remember like feeding the fish when I was a kid. It was like fun. I just remember like these fish look ugly as shit. I do not want to fall into that pond. I would like be traumatized. I would be traumatized. Like fucking like a dream I had last night about like a giant ass 3 to 4 foot long lobster like freaks me out. I don't want to imagine like as a little kid falling into like that kind of pond, like hundreds of like fish. I think like koi fish. Like even though their scales look beautiful, their faces leave a lot to be desired, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think seaweed just kind of looks ugly in general.
Fish are ugly. Didn't you once told me or like gave me a rant about like why like I think it was like what was called like the sunfish or something, or like a useless type of fish?
Oh yeah, it was like some picture I sent you. Yeah.
It
was like some random user. I forgot what platform.
Like on Reddit or something, and like
Reddit or Tumblr or Twitter or something. Yeah, but they were just like ranting about how useless the sunfish is, and their entire existence is to be like a ton or two, like the literal ton of weight, where all they do is just float around the ocean, and they don't contribute anything, they don't do anything, they just exist. They're not worth hunting because it's too much of a pain. They accidentally kill people just from being heavy. Like animals in the ocean don't even try to eat it because it's too much work. Like, apparently the sunfish are pretty useless. And if you're ever curious about what we're talking about, you can just Google like sunfish rant or something. You'll probably find it.
I'm looking at sunfish, and there's a sea lion eating it.
I'm looking at the exact same picture. It's like
why sunfish are useless or something. I'm sure. It's useless. Fine.
It doesn't look as ugly as I imagined or remembered to it, or thought to have remembered, but it's still kind of like kind of ugly, especially when it's out of the water. When it's like in the water, it looks kind of pretty, but okay, looking from the front, it looks alright. All fish look ugly from the front. The side profile looks a little bit better, but if it's like directly from the front, where they're just like have their like mouths open, they look like what I imagine like mouth breathers look like all the time. But yeah, I'm just not a fish person.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to eating some seafood, I'm a good amount less picky than you, but again, I'm like whatever on seafood most of the time. I don't have a particularly strong feeling towards it. Like when I was young, my mom would get crab every now and then. That was like a luxury for her because crabs aren't cheap, right? And I remember just trying it, and she was like, "Okay, to eat this, you have to like break open the claws, then pick out the meat that's inside. And as a kid, I was just like, this is a lot of work. And then I fucking ripped out the meat, put it in my mouth, tasted it, swallowed it. And I was just like, this doesn't fucking taste like anything. What the fuck is this? Like, what? All that work to get like what the? I don't understand. And I've had crab many times since, and I'm just like, I sleep.
You sleep.
Yeah, the only time I have it now is like when if it's like, I don't know, like a free crab salad scoop on my poke bowl or something.
Hey,
you know, like it's that. Then I'll have crab, but like every other time I've had it, so I've never like thought it was good. I've had crab noodles that I got from JC because JC wouldn't finish his lunch, and I would like finish the rest. And it was like, okay. I was just like, yeah, I don't have very strong feelings towards crab because every time I've had it, it's never been great. Mm. Like I've had good fish, but I haven't had good crab. And maybe that doesn't even exist because no.
Or maybe you just don't have a taste for it. Like Dean, like I assume you're more into like fish or crab and lobster than we are.
Definitely, Kenny of all of us, Kenny's the biggest fish guy for sure.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, like other than his fishing hobby, like he eats way more fish and enjoys way more, or seafood in general way more than we do. I know Dean likes it quite a bit too, but I think Kenny beats him on that as well.
Probably.
Dean, what's the appeal of like crab and lobster anyway? Because as Jim has said, it's like a pain he has to get into and for like very little reward.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just grew up liking it. It's like for me, it's not like peeling the thing. It doesn't seem to be hard work. So I don't know.
Don't you think that part of it's the price though? Like because it's like you pay more for less meat. You think it's better than it actually is because lobster. If you guys didn't know, lobster used to be like the peasants' food because I think the history was that somewhere in New England, I think it was, they're like, fuck, poor people need something to eat. What do we do? And they're like, I don't know. And then they found some lobster. And like, what about this? There's a bunch of these in the ocean. They're like, fuck it. And so they started giving it out to peasants, poor people. And it was looked down on because of that. And then eventually it became scarce enough to a point where, I don't know, at some point they were like
a reversal, and now it's a luxury item.
Hey, don't you think this lobster is banging? Too bad poor people can't have this. And it became a luxury,
Yeah.
That scarcity just like turns things around.
It's like lobster is now big
rich people food. Or like a luxury item, which I still
sure. It's why people think caviar is good. I thought caviar was some fucking exquisite, some exquisite like fish gravy or some shit. Like I don't know. I didn't know what it was. I was like it's gotta be some like amazing fish gravy or fish soup or something. And it was just like literally fucking fish eggs. That's all it fucking is. I'm just like and
I have no clue how caviar became a thing because I tasted caviar and I was like, this is what rich people eat. Dude.
Wait. Fish roe also caviar?
Yeah.
Basically.
So it's orange like eggs?
So when we eat the salmon roe in those like onigiri, that's literally just salmon caviar. That's all it is.
Oh, I thought caviar was just like the black brown bits, not like the orange.
Those are eggs as well, but I think they're from different fish. Yeah.
Oh, I never. Shit, I thought it was just like the black one. I didn't realize that fish roe or the salmon roe was also caviar.
It's just different names for the same shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Caviar is much more of the rich people term.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, I don't think I ever had caviar before, but I guess I have, and just didn't realize it whenever I had like.
Like, don't get me wrong, okay? Like it looks pretty, but you're not eating it for anything else other than that, okay?
Yeah. I would also agree. Like, it doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. It's like the fucking gold foil like they put over fucking foods nowadays. Like it doesn't add anything to the flavor.
Okay, so I get the orange one because that looks pretty. Why the black one though? If it doesn't taste like anything, it doesn't even look good either.
It's the method. It's a method for the thing.
The method?
Yeah.
I'm like seeing like pictures how to buy caviar without going broke. Why? Who cares? I just see like people like putting like black caviar on bread. I'm like, or like green. Wouldn't that just like taste like bread? We tried $450 caviar to see if it's worth the money. Why? Who's doing this? I don't understand rich people, man.
Yeah, it's not about like a taste or flavor or anything profile, whatever. It's just hey, if it's rare and it's food.
Apparently, it's the sturgeon fish. It doesn't reproduce as much. That's why it's expensive. So I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why caviar.
Yeah.
This type of caviar expensive. But like, yes, salmon fish roe is like cheap. I think compared to this, and it tastes the same.
I don't understand. If I were to like, I'm not a foodie. I like eating food, but I'm not like a food expert. If I was to pick like what kind of like caviar it tastes or would be the most popular if they all taste the same, I would like pick like the salmon roe just because it looks the prettiest out of all of them, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
like that. It's like mini Dragon Balls.
imagine if rich people were just honest about what they're eating.
No, no.
They're not eating caviar. They're just eating fish eggs. Just say fish egg, okay? Then don't lie to yourself. You know what you're getting. When we go to Taco Bell as peasants, we don't think, oh, I'm eating the finest tortilla. Like it's just flatbread. That's all it is, and we don't even pretend it's real Mexican food. It's just American shit. Okay,
It's number
we
one.
may be signing we may be signing a suicide note every time we go to Taco Bell, but at least we know what we're fucking getting.
I've once had. I
We know shit.
remember. I remember when I went to community college, I had like a public speaking professor tell us a story about how one of his previous students, gave like a presentation how about some good Mexican food, and her presentation topic was about Taco Bell.
Nice.
Like they listened to her presentation, but when they were done, they were like, when she was done, they were like, Taco Bell's not real Mexican food, and she was like, what?
Nani! Damn.
Yeah.
Ruined
Yeah,
my brain.
apparently it was a good presentation, but it's, as Jim says, not real Mexican food. Same with like Panda Express, not real Asian or Chinese food.
But
in my opinion.
like you have those places knowing they aren't what they're supposed to be. You're eating them because they're just the shittiest version of the real thing, and sometimes you want that.
Sometimes you crave that for some reason.
You
We don't
crave
know
that,
why.
and
Sometimes you want Panda Express orange chicken, and it is good. It's just like you just eat it knowing that's just not real Chinese food. That's it, and that's fine. Like
You're there for
nothing wrong with that.
for their orange chicken, not the authentic traditional orange chicken.
yeah, is the authentic thing better most of the time? Yeah, but sometimes you're not in the mood for that.
Yeah, you're in the mood for the trashy ones.
And sometimes you want to eat real food, but you just eat fish eggs instead. Be honest, okay? Just say I want to eat fish eggs. I don't want flavor. I don't want volume. I don't want to enjoy eating ever again. I just want to eat fucking fish eggs because they're expensive. Just say it.
Yeah.
And none of this caviar bullshit, okay? Like none of that. Stop.
I forgot which show it was that I watched. Was it like How I Met Your Mother, or was that something else? Or was it like Big Bang Theory? I don't fucking remember.
I watched How I Met Your Mother enough to might be able to know. So
I remember there was that one episode for either one of those shows, or like something else completely, or one person was like having caviar for their first time, and they're like, "Oh wow, this tastes really good. Like, can I have some more?" And the waiter was like, "Sure, I guess." It may have been Big Bang Theory, but now that when you guys said like, and went with my experience like with having like salmon roe, like it doesn't taste like anything. I'm like, wow, that seems probably bullshit. The fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if it doesn't taste like anything, like, who would willingly order that more?
It's just fish.
If you're not
so
rich.
That means it's salty. That's it. That's all you get.
Just get salt. You could just get, like, I remember as a kid, whenever we went to this one specific KFC near my house, they had those, like, the salt and pepper shakers on the side of the table. I would just get the salt shaker, and I was like, do. Start looking my hand. I go, do. Start looking. I got high on a lot of sodium. That's probably why my blood pressure like went up or something, or why I just got this addiction to salt as a kid. And like now I'm like, here's not enough salt, put more salt.
Imagine if caviar was like a poor person's food, and the rich people just like see us eating that shit all the time, and they see us being like, "Damn, this shit good! Damn, give me some more!" And they'll be like,
What if that happens in the future?
The fuck is up with these guys?"
That is probably what happened. In that rich people saw poor people eating a certain type of food, and they're like, "Let's eat that as a
I
joke."
want that
Ironically,
instead.
and it became a joke. And it became a joke, like, yes, this is the food of the people.
Yeah, and
more
before
rich people started doing it.
nothing but Taco Bell, Doritos tacos, you know, like that's all they
Yeah.
ate. They're like, this is the food of kings, and they tried caviar, and eventually the pole reversed, you know.
You think that's what they're doing with the bugs, the future food, the cockroaches and all that? You think that's part of it? Or just like
They probably have like in those rich people parties, they have butlers just carrying on trays of grasshopper, you know,
Yeah.
and now it's reversing. We're
like it's
Yeah.
exotic.
Can we
Like,
reverse
yes.
Taco Bell? Can Taco Bell be the rich people food?
Please, I want to sell my organs to eat that Taco Bell. Too bad. That's what you get for being bored. You should have worked harder.
I mean, doesn't like freaking like Donald Trump like eat like McDonald's or like KFC on a pretty regular basis?
It's McDonald's. I think his order is like two Big Macs or two Diet Cokes and like two fries or something like that.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
That's a lot of
no,
calories.
and two filet o fishes or something. Pretty
There's
pretty
some-
big meal. Yeah.
Some people just get fucking lucky and just like eat like shit, but they're like, I'm still good to go.
Like I get he's rich and he has like the best healthcare, but even so, like eating like that for
Yeah, exactly.
however
Some-
long, it's crazy.
Some people just win the genetic lottery and just like no matter how much you abuse your body, you're still good to go. Like those stories about people who lived like past 100 or like some of the oldest people alive, and they're just like
Yeah, smoke, drink,
regular. They
eat
smoke, they
McDonald's
drink.
every day.
People, news stations like come up to them and like, "What's your secret?" And they're like, "I don't fucking know. I'm just smoking, and drinking all day."
I eat McDonald's every day. They give
Yeah.
me immortality.
What do you guys think about people who like no matter how much they eat like Trump, but they'll never like show it with their body because they'll always be like scrawny. You know those type of people?
I'm
jealous.
forever jealous of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth being jealous if it means you can never like gain muscle or like appearance wise at least or look like you're more muscly or bigger or anything? If it means that you can eat whatever.
I've heard both sides of the argument where people who are like, no matter how much they eat or how much they try to like put on weight, they just can't. Their just bodies just like either have a high metabolism or it just doesn't happen, or they think they're eating a lot of food but they just get full really quick.
Mhm.
But it's not really like the calories aren't translating to weight.
Well, I'm talking more about the people who eat a lot, but it just doesn't reflect their the outward appearance.
I mean, I'm jealous of them. I don't know.
Is that something that you would have for yourself, like compared to what you have now? Obviously, we eat food, we get fatter. That's just
Yeah.
how the three of us work. But would you make that trade off, like knowing that you can never get look more muscly or anything if it means that you can just eat while having a consistent body image?
I mean, it would depend on like my current weight would be when I have that ability to like eat as much. Am I like the same as I am now? Am I like 10 pounds less? Am I weighing more? If I'm like,
You would probably weigh less, I would imagine.
if I were like like in like the 120s or 130s, because I'm like about 150 pounds. I'm probably trying to drop it back to like 140 again. I might be like a little bit like frustrated, especially if I'm trying to put on muscle and all that. I would definitely be annoyed and be jealous of people who do put on weight easily. But being on the other side of the fence, I'm also jealous of people who like eat as much as they want and they don't put on weight. I've heard both sides of the argument, and both have their pros and cons. But right now, where I'm standing right now, I'm jealous of those people who can't put on weight. All right, that's just how I feel. Those are my feelings on that matter.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
People like Jeffrey, they're like to an extent. Actually, I think
Well, he's grown obviously, I'm not the one to say this, but he's grown a gut throughout the years, from what I've seen.
definitely. But
Yeah.
he I think he was like the last to like do that. Like he would like eat like a lot of food and not worry about it as much. Or I don't know. I'm assuming.
No,
This is what
I
saw.
think he's done that. It's just that like his metabolism isn't fast enough to like, just like wipe down all the food internally, but it's like fast enough for it to like doesn't not show as much. Although to be fair, I don't see him eat very much in one sitting from all the times that we've ever had food with him. So I don't know. It could just be me not seeing what he eats throughout the entire day all the time. But
probably I'm probably just like making shit up. Probably
just jealous because he doesn't gain.
And some people just can't eat very much. Like
I just assume that like he doesn't eat a lot, or he eats a lot, or like eats burritos like pretty constantly. Because I remember when we all had that phase where like burritos were like oh yeah, I'm gonna have it all the time. But then like Jeffrey was one of those people like he seems to be good and good. He's like his weight's like relatively low compared to the rest of us. But I think currently right now I probably weigh more than him. But like I'll blame it on like the holidays.
I blame it on COVID. I hate you, COVID.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I actually managed to lose like 30 pounds last year despite COVID. So I'm just blaming it on holidays, and I'm already like, all right, time to lose that weight again. Like losing 10 pounds is a lot easier than losing 30.
That's true.
Yeah, I can do it. It's just like sometimes I just like some good foods right there. I'm like, oh, I want to eat more. I'm so hungry, but it's that hurdle that lasts like a couple days. That's just hard. Discipline and all that.
I mean, for you have to maintain it. Like you can't just be like me and D and be like, hey, there's no one being like, hey, meet this weight by this deadline.
Yeah. I mean, it helps when you work out pretty regularly. It helps a little bit as well. It's like diet is like like 90% of it, but that 10% definitely helps if you do it consistently.
But that thing's still hard sometimes, like because people relapse. Just like you can only go so long eating a specific diet or whatever before you're like, fuck, I deserve a little treat for sticking this long, and then they just kind of fall back into
yeah. It's definitely hard.
Yeah,
eating a lot of fruits, mostly apples, because that's what's on the table.
Since I've had COVID, I've
been oranges.
Been drinking nothing but tea all the fucking time.
That too. Ever since I got sick in December, I've been drinking a lot of tea, and it feels good. Yeah,
I mean, I don't drink unhealthily in general, but I don't know, just something nice to drink, I guess. And I know Paul himself's not a tea person. He just drinks water.
Drink water, yeah,
like a normal person.
I don't. Just kidding. I'm like a little bit too normal. I feel because I don't even drink like coffee either.
You're
I don't drink coffee either.
Yeah,
but the last time I drank coffee was when Ron gave it to me at the when we went to the same college for like a semester. He bought me like coffee every day, and I was like, okay. And I didn't get addicted to it or anything because I don't know, just coffee just doesn't do that for me.
It's crazy how people get addicted to coffee. I drink coffee here and there, but it's like I can go cold turkey. I haven't drank coffee in a while.
Like coffee is just like one of those things like while you're drinking, you're like, oh, it's not bad, but I'm not like I gotta get a cup, and I never get that feeling.
I gotta get my fix. That's just me. I gotta get my fix.
Yeah. And
or even like a soda for me, I barely touch that as well. Like sometimes I get like an urge for like a sip of Coke, but then once I get that sip of Coke,
when I switch to seltzer,
you know how hard it is in this household.
Yeah.
Some days always drinking Coke, and I'm just like, damn, I just want to.
Bro, he's the one. He's the one always buying Mountain Dew too, right?
Yeah, I just want to sip. I just want to take a sip. And I was like, no, that's not for you. Drink something else. Just like a glass.
Yeah, fortunately, I just don't have those urges, or if I do, they're like very infrequent.
Yeah. Mine is though, but like that one day, just like, man, what if I take a sip of Coke right now? Like.
Yeah. I got you. I know that feeling.
I would just like, the fridge has water. The fridge has water. I'm just gonna drink water.
Yeah. And it's nice to have something other than water too, though, because
indeed,
just to have a nice variety of flavor. It's like eating bread every single day. Like, yeah, you can get away with that, but you don't get bored of it. So having like a nice change that's still within the healthy limits is still good. Like tea, for example, tea is just leaf water. It's all it is. But
Yeah.
But it is a little different than normal water, so you can at least like
Yeah, indeed.
get something else.
For me, it's like orange juice or like. For me, it used to be milk as well when I was younger, but ever since it became a little bit more lactose intolerant and like
I hate milk.
I hate milk.
milk gave me the farts. I'm like, all right, I should probably stop drinking milk. I don't know.
It gives me that soup, and my mom used to force me and my siblings to drink. It started with 3 glasses of milk a day because she thought it made us taller. And by the way, for everyone else who doesn't know, it's not true. Milk doesn't help you grow taller.
It's just good for your bones.
Yeah.
It's just good for your bones. Like, so you should drink milk, but you don't drink 3 glasses to get taller. That's not how it works.
I can confirm. I can confirm. I actually like drinking milk. I wasn't forced to drink it. I just drank it my own volition just because I like the taste. But
for me, there was no taste for the milk.
Like fucking grew taller than me.
And milk to me was just water, like white fucking water, like white colored water, and I hated it. I'm not even lactose intolerant. I just hated milk.
I don't know why. I just like the taste of it. It was like I would get like multiple cups and just like be happy.
Milk is just water, but fat in it as well. That's why I don't like about it. Like you can taste the fat when you drink it, and that's what milk is for. The fat is there for you to grow, and whatever fuck. But I don't like it, and I was okay with it when I was younger, but after being forced, I just fucking despise it now. The only time I'll have it is if it's like in a bowl of cereal, But other than that, I just fuck that shit. I fucking hate milk.
I remember one time my dad had like a pint glass, and I like decided like fill it up with like completely up with milk and like try to drink all of it. And it was like years before like any like those YouTube like gallon milk challenges and all that. And I remember drinking all that just because, like, I really like milk. I'm going to drink this, like a little challenge for myself. I had a fucking stomach ache after I was done. I was like, felt terrible. Never did it again, but I still really like drinking milk despite that. Until, I stopped because it gave me the farts.
You know what my body cannot process? I can't process almond milk. I drink that shit, and I get, like, my body just like is like abort. Fuck this shit, and I just throw it back up, and I get extremely sick after, like for like an hour after I drink it. Then I go back to normal. But it's something that just fucks me up. It fucks me up harder than alcohol. Like it's weird. My body just cannot accept almond milk at all.
This is not real milk.
Soy milk's okay.
This is not milk.
It's okay.
I think there's like just one YouTuber I'm subscribed to that also has the same problem as you do, Jim. I don't think he throws up, but I think it gives him like very bad diarrhea afterwards.
Yeah, that's a big
Oh, his is the other end. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know. It might be a genetic thing. Maybe not. Or maybe I just got unlucky. Because my sister and my mom can drink it okay, but they're like, hey, drink this. I'm just like, no. They're like, no. This is a different brand. I'm like, all right. I drink it, same shit. I'm just like, fuck almond milk, okay? I don't care if this is vegan. I'm never drinking this shit. I can't do it.
I think the guy who's like similar, I think he's like Irish or like Irish descent, but he's like he's white. So I don't know. Maybe just some people just can't handle certain foods.
Yeah. Like something it gotta be something chemically because the taste I'm like whatever, but then like as soon as it goes down, it's like oh no.
Yeah, it just fucks up your body for some reason.
Yeah. Soy milk, I still have some reaction to soy milk, like, but I don't throw up. I just get like my throat gets kind of fucky. But I think again, I don't know. It's just something about the chemicals. I don't know. I just not a milk person. Real milk or not?
I don't think I've tried almond milk or soy milk by itself.
I've had soy milk before when I was younger.
I used to drink the Yeo's fucking soy milk.
It was like a yellow like kid cards.
Yeah, with like the little bubbles on the can.
Yeah.
I used to drink those. Yeah,
those are good. I like those.
When I was a kid, I used to love those, and then as I got older, my body couldn't drink those as easily anymore, and that kind of sucks.
I think that for me was just milk in general.
Yeah.
The only time I drink milk now is like if my sister brings.
Oh, that's when
like
you guys
half gallon milk.
When you guys went through the banana milk phase. Oh, I didn't care. Like I was just like
banana milk.
I don't care for this. like I know it's flavored milk, but because it's milk, I'm just like I sleep.
I don't think
That's
I
the
ever
only
went
milk
through that
I
phase.
actually really like.
I don't think I ever tried banana milk. I just like already like the flavor like regular milk,
You
anyways.
guys out of that phase because we don't go to your house often to see, but it seems you guys don't drink it as much as you guys used to.
Nah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they're out of the phase now. They were like big on that for like a lot of 2020.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
2020, you said? Well,
2020. Yeah,
that probably explains why I never saw it.
Yeah.
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 You missed
You're
out.
never there.
Yeah, I quarantined, and now I realize like it's fucking pointless. I guess nowadays. I mean, in my defense, we didn't have a vaccine at that time, so
Well, yeah.
that's my excuse.
That's a very good excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are an hour and 10.
Ah, yes. Time to play the Valheim, which
Play
we've also
Uga
been
Bunga
doing.
Games. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I got
Vikings. Yes. All right.
All right.
We're gonna finish this up so we can play Viking game.
Okay, so we're gonna go play video games now. Later.
Screw you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, get the fuck out. We're
All right,
out.
If you guys enjoyed today's episode, catch us episodes 1 through 67 already up on YouTube in our YouTube channel. If you want to watch us live, we're on twitch.tv/the Nincompoops. Whatever links you can use to find us, it's in the description wherever you're watching us on. Always leave a comment. Comments are fun. Leave a like. Those are fun as well. It gives us self-confidence. We need to keep going, and we're all very depressed, so keep us going with comments and likes. We enjoy reading your comments and everything. Jerome, I saw your comment. Fresh crab is so good, especially the insides. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know how fresh I've had my crabs, but it's been okay. I never been taken back by it or anything. But yeah, leave comments. If you leave a comment while we're live on our Twitch, then I will reply to it at some point, and we might even talk about what you're talking about, as long as it doesn't derail from our conversation.
Yeah.
On YouTube, comments are always cool as well. Yep, and that's about it. Anything else? Oh, next week, or if we're not doing it next week, then the next episode is episode 69, and we'll maybe come up.
All right, we need to come up with an idea for that.
We'll come up with something different for that.
Oh no, this feels like homework.
I hate homework.
And yeah, we'll try to come up with something for that because it's a special number, and
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
we'll come up with something.
It's the finale of the first season.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, other than that, that's about it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We're gonna play video games now. Peace.
Yeah.
Later.
Vikings.